Good afternoon. How are you doing?
What was that like watching the other game, watching Drew get that 92-yard drive for the win?
Oh, that was awesome. So excited for Drew. Man, that was really cool to see just him in that moment. And for all the guys, really, that was a big win for us. Big time game, Monday Night Football against a really good team. I thought Drew played really well throughout the game, and then for him to close it out the way he did, for all the guys to make the plays the way they did, man, I was just so happy, man. I couldn't, it was one of those nights where you'll remember for the rest of your life, man. Just seeing him in that moment and just the way that he handled all that was real cool to see.
He talked after the game about the way you guys have always supported each other going back to when you were competing for the starting job last year. Just what's that relationship been like between you two?
It's been great. Drew is a guy who, over the course of the time we've been together, man, we've developed a real good friendship, a real good bond. We've gotten to know each other. We even worked out together in the off season. So that's something that I appreciate. Just being here, the QB room, the way that we all are together with Shane and Tater and Coach Olson and Kerry, Sean Mannion, Holton when he was here, Brett Rippon, just all the guys, man. They make it special. They make it special. We're collective. We're always together. We're working together, and we're all pulling from one another, no matter who's out there playing. So I think that's just another example of that.
What was it like for you when he's out there, he looks over at you, he's smiling, you guys had that moment that's caught on cameras and kind of reveling in that when it happens?
Shoot, man, just a ton of excitement. Just I'm excited for him. Being excited that we just got the lead in the game. Just a ton of excitement. That was his little deal back in Missouri. I talked to him about that, a year ago, and I was like, man, that was a cool celebration. And I was like, next time you throw a touchdown, you got to do it, and we'll all do it. And so it was great for it to happen in that moment. And like I said, man, I'm super proud, super excited for him and all the guys. Man, that was a special night.
Pete said it was gut wrenching to tell you weren't going to play. I guess what was that all like? That kind of that process.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Just preparing myself and doing everything that I possibly can to be ready to play. Feeling like I was ready to play. Expecting to go out there and play, and then coach making that decision. We got to live with it. And obviously, I was hurt by it. I want to go out there and compete. I want to play any chance that I get. But I do understand that he's got to make the decision for the team and also for me, to kind of protect me from myself at times. So had to deal with it and move on and go out there and support the guys. So that was my main focus once I learned that, I wouldn't be able to play.
How did you
Deal with
feel?
it? How did you deal with it in that interim between him telling you and when you decided to come out and be a teammate? How long was that interim, and what were you thinking?
I wasn't really counting, but shoot, man, I was just trying to, come to the grips with the fact that I wouldn't be able to play. It's always going to hurt. It hurt. I always told you guys, man, anytime that I wasn't able to go out there all those years, it hurt me. It hurt me because I felt like I was ready. And so that was no different. I want to be a part of this team. I want to help this team and contribute and be a part of the wins. And so, for me not to be able to go play, I mean, obviously, as a competitor, you're hurt by it. But as a teammate, you got to put your pride to the side, put those things to the side, ego to the side, and go out there and do whatever you can to help the team in another role. So that's, kind of what I did.
How did that workout go for you? Like, how did you feel coming out of it? Were you maybe even better than you thought you were going to be at that point, kind of working through it and trying to get ready?
I actually expected it. I expected to be ready because of the amount of work I put in. I talked to you guys about that, about the early mornings and the late nights, and I think that helps me recover faster. And so I expected to be ready to play. And like I said, coach made a decision, and that was that. But I was doing everything I can to be ready, and just as I always do. So it wasn't no different there.
Certainly you'd rather be on the field, but what do you learn when you were in a position to help coach or help teach or be the second set of eyes for somebody on the field?
I've been in that role before, so it was kind of natural for me, and I was able to just go out there and be the second eyes for Drew, like you said, and help him see some things on the field, talk him through some scenarios, and really just give him some confidence. Give him some love, let him know that he's playing great, and that the opportunity is going to come for him to go out there and make it happen, and that's what he did.
Do you think you appreciate a little more everything Drew's going through because of the journey your career's taken?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I know exactly, not exactly, but, I kind of know what he feels. And I know he wants to be out there competing as well. And, your opportunities come when they come, and you got to be ready for them. And I think he did a great job being ready.
How are you feeling this week now?
I feel pretty good. Still getting better. Yes, sir.
Do you think you're going to play Sunday?
I will hope so.
when you look at this Titans defense, then what stands out most in the numbers?
Yeah, I think just overall watching them, you look at the guys up front. They got a bunch of sacks. Danico Archery, I think that's how you say his name, already got 11 sacks. You got Simmons in there, who's one of the best interior guys in the league. I think Harold Landry's starting to get better and better each week, coming off an injury. The mindset of their coach and Mike Vrabel, defensive-minded coach, tough guy. So they're going to follow suit. And so they got guys all across the board that can make plays, a bunch of different packages. They mix the looks, multiple coverages. And, they really play hard throughout the game. So another great challenge for us. On the road, I've played in Tennessee once before early in my career, so I know how that is. And so just got to be prepared for that and, just ready to handle all the noise and, be prepared to handle the rush and then go out there and get the ball out.
What are you able to do now, maybe physically, that couldn't get you cleared on Sunday, or excuse me, on Monday?
I'm not sure. I felt the same Monday that I do now.
With Jackson, 2 of his touchdowns are game winners now on the year. He's obviously played in some big games at Ohio State previously, but what's kind of made him be ready for moments like that from your standpoint?
Yeah, I think initially what you spoke on, playing at Ohio State, playing in a bunch of big games, and being dominant in those big games, being the key factor in those games. So he expects to make those plays when the game's on the line. And I think from knowing him for the short time I've known him, the confidence he has in his ability, his understanding of the game, his cool, calm, collected demeanor, and just the way that he goes out there and competes every single time. When his opportunity comes, he's ready for it and he makes the play. And that's all you can ask from a guy like that. He's a special player, as I've always said, and he's just getting better and better each week.
Pete's speech after the game, they put it on video, got a lot of attention. Was that any more out of the ordinary than it's been for him, or did that seem like a kind of a different one Monday? Or?
Nah, that's a classic Coach Carroll speech after a game, man. He was fired up, though. He was really fired up. You can tell that when, he wanted that one. And, we love the energy he brings, the passion he brings. It rubs off on all the guys. And so, when Coach Carroll, when he's happy like that, that usually means a good thing. So we got to keep that up.
If you're able to play Sunday with a full game of Abe and full game with Charles and then Ken and Zach, what difference do you think that will make maybe to have as close to a healthy offensive line as you've had and both backs?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, man, having Charles and Abe back, they're a big factor on the offense. Obviously, they're, 2 great young tackles and I think going to be franchise tackles here for a while. So they help our offense in a ton of ways. I mean, on the field, just the way that they play, the things that they bring, the toughness and all that. And then overall, just their demeanor, the toughness that they bring and the way that they go about their work. It's something that we need on offense, and we trust those guys to bring that. And then with Ken and Zach, man, just either one of those guys can be the bell cow. But with them together, man, it's just, it's that much harder on the defense. Anytime we can establish that run, we can be more balanced. And then obviously the play action and the passing game will open up. So they do a great job at just, kind of leading our offense. And we want to count on those guys week in and week out. So just with those 2 guys, man, we got to keep getting them the ball and letting them do their thing because they're great.
What stands out?
Arm issue from last month, how are you doing with that? Is that still affecting you at all?
It's getting better. Not really affecting me as much, but, something I have to stay on top of.
What stands out when you watch the Titans' red zone defense?
Man, they're stout. They usually hold guys to field goals. Not many touchdowns given up. They're great in the run game. They stop the run first, and then they kind of put an umbrella on the defense where you can't really get behind them. You got to kind of dink and dunk and throw in front of them, and then they rally and tackle. So for us, it's going to be finding the one-on-one, finding the open guy. Got to run the ball down there, and then obviously being efficient and scoring touchdowns and not field goals.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.